Hey guys, and welcome back to day 2 of the Pi Hut Maker Advent Calendar, Let It Glow. Well, yesterday we got 2 breadboards and the Pi and a USB cable. Let's get opening day 2 and see what we have. Doesn't seem to be near as much as like what we get in the other one. It's not that it's any worse or anything. It's a really cool looking LED for sure. Big old LED and resistor and 2 jumper wires. So just like we do with the 12 days of Codemas, let's get moved over to the desk and we will start putting together this day. Okay, we are on the Make It Glow, which is this black box. And let's look at day 2. So we'll shrink this back down to 100% until we get down to the code. And the contents, it's a 15 millimeter diffused blocky LED. So this is pretty cool. I think it'd be cool if we had a bunch of these RGB and like make a matrix out of them. But we're starting with one just single color blocky LED. Again, it goes through everything, describes what an LED is. So with this LED in 12 Days of Codemas, we went over how to tell positive to negative of the just standard, LEDs. But with this blocky LED, the legs are the same length as you can see here in this picture. But it looks like positive is closest to the label on it. So that's good to know. Okay, so we know the positive side is near the label. Keep going, it shows the pinout, which is good to take note of because you can't really see the pinout on the board from the top. They had room to silk screen it. I kind of wish they would have done more of it, but they just call out 18. So they just call out all the ground ports, and you've got to count all these other ones yourself. So here's the circuit. So we're going to build the circuit. It's showing the empty board, so that's the side we're going to work on, but we have them together. So it's putting the positive or the side with the label as far over as you can get and up on this top area. So we get that in. Now we need to add a resistor, and we're going to go from E to F or E to G, or, well, of course I put this in just a little too low. So we need to be able to get to E to add the resistor. There we go, we got the resistor added. And now we're going to jump cables. So for the negative side, we're going directly to ground on the Pi, which, like I said, they're actually numbered. So we're going to go to 18 here. And the ports were just had one space in between them, the legs for the LED. And then we are going to go from the resistor to the pin right under that ground. So let's scroll down a little further and see what code we're doing here. It looks like it's going to be a pretty simple code. We're not specifically learning coding in this one. We are going to learn some coding, but this is more focused on the LEDs. At least that's what the title makes you think. So let's get in here and paste the sample code and run it. So let's look at this. So I had the pinout was simply I had this jumper cable down here. As I mentioned in the 12 Days of Codemas, the way breadboard works is this center line breaks up anything from this side to this side. So these 5 ports are all connected together this direction, and these 5 are connected together. But over here, I had it on this side so it was broken out. We need it on this side. So see, now it's lit up. I don't know if you can see very well what color that is, but it is red. My camera kind of washes it out. I need to get much better cameras, but this is where we're at for now. Okay, so this next set of code adds a little interesting twist on it. I didn't even think about them adding this to other codes, which makes sense because it's a lot of times used as an activity monitor. But this code here will also, we need to stop the code that's running. But this code here calls out the red block, and then it also calls out the green light on the Pi. So let's look at that. We stopped it. Let's run again. And we see that it came up with the light on the Pi and the red block. So that's cool. It's going to add blinking like we talked about last time. So it added a timer. This one is it's just going to blink 4 times. There's no while loop. Then it adds on looping to blink it. So while true looping. Then it adds on the while. Oh, okay. So in 12 Days of Codemas, we did while count equals, or while count is less than 1 or 11, then it will continue to loop. This one does, instead of while, it does for I in range of. So it'll run the intended code here, which is indented. It'll run this code 5 times, and then at the end it'll print program finished. So that's one we haven't done yet, so let's go ahead and copy this example code and add it in. We'll stop the code that's currently running, and we will run this code. So we see that it flashes the red 10 times, and then up here it said program finished once that 10 was up. That's cool. It's always interesting to me how all these different programs work, because there's nothing adding count to this, so it's automatically adding the count, and it's stopping on its own as well. It's very interesting. But yeah, so that is it for Make It Glow. I'm not going to write my own code off of this because it's just one LED. You can make it flash, turn on and off. We've kind of already done that all. If you would, go ahead and like this video and then subscribe. And if you hit the bell, then you will know that I have posted day 3 tomorrow for Make It Glow. We'll see you next time.